This is something that you mentioned before we started our shift, Allison. What could be a fun game is Allison does a monologue from her desk. This sounds like the perfect accompaniment to bread making.
Yeah. So background on me, I was a theater major in college, studying playwriting and performance. And so I'm sitting right now next to my bookcase, which has all of my old like scripts and playbooks from college. And I found some that were like marked with old like monologues and scenes that I had to do back when I was in school. So I figure I can just like read from one of the monologues in a like goofy accent or something. That sounds fun.
That sounds perfect.
That sounds awesome.
Maybe one of you can give me like a what's my motivation, and I'll use that for the text.
Oh,
what a good idea.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you're reading from? And then
Okay.
It might be better if she didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How about you are heartbroken?
Okay.
Something's broken.
Hold on, let me center. Okay. I'm getting sick of those westerns. All them cowboys riding around and fooling with those ropes. I don't care nothing about that. I'm sick of them. I don't know why they don't have more of them stories like For Sweet Love's Sweet Sake. I like them sweet little love stories. They're nice and wholesome. Mrs. 12 was saying to me only yesterday, Mrs. Zero, says she, what I like is one of them wholesome stories, with just a sweet, simple little love story. You're right, Mrs. 12, I says. That's what I like too. They're showing too many of those westerns at the Rosebud. I'm getting sick of them. I think we ought to start going to the Peter Stuyvesant. They got a good bill there Wednesday night. There's a Chubby Delano comedy called Seasick. Mrs. 12 was telling me about it. She says it's a scream. They're having a picnic in the country and they sit Chubby next to an old maid with a great big mouth. So he gets sore, and when he looks good, he goes and catches a frog and drops it in her clam chowder. And when she goes to eat the chowder, the frog jumps out of it and right into her mouth. Talk about a laugh. And they got that big Grace Darling feature, A Mother's Tears. She's sweet, but I don't like her clothes. There's no style to them. Mrs. 9 was telling me what he read in Pictureland, and she ain't living with her husband. He's her second too. I don't know whether they're divorced or just separated. You wouldn't think it to look at her on screen. She looks so sweet and innocent. Maybe it ain't true. You can't believe all that you read. They say some Pittsburgh millionaire is crazy about her, and that's why she ain't living with her husband. This monologue goes for another 7 pages.
Can I make a suggestion? That was fantastic. If you could pick another one, and then everybody takes a turn directing and throws out an adjective as you're going.
That sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Luckily, there are so many of these kinds of monologues in this giant play because it never ends. Okay.
If that one goes on for another 7 pages,
it does.
We heard Heartbroken. You want to continue on with that one?
Yes, let's do it.
Heck yeah.
All right,
so
what's
you
next?
just found presents under the tree on Christmas morning from your father that's been gone for 10 years.
Mrs. 7 was telling me her brother-in-law had a friend that used to go to school with Grace Darling. He says her name ain't Grace Darling at all. Her right name is Elizabeth Dugan, and she says, and all them stories about her getting $5,000 a week is the bunk, she says. She's sweet though. Mrs. 8 was telling me that A Mother's Tears is the best picture she ever made. Don't miss it, Mrs. 0, she says.
And it's dog poop.
It's sweet. All right, next adjective.
Oh, you open the package and it's dog poop.
Oh, just sweet and wholesome? Cry, she says. I nearly cried my eyes out. There's one part where this big bum of an Englishman, he's married to a married man too, and she's this little simply country girl, and she nearly falls for him too. Ugh. But She's sitting out there in the garden one day and looks up, and there's her mother looking right at her out of the clouds.
You are an extremely tired DMV employee re-explaining something.
So that night, she locks the door of her room, and sure enough, when everybody's in bed, along comes this big bum of an Englishman, and when she won't let him in, what does he do? But kick open the door. Don't miss it, Mrs. Zero. Mrs. 8 was telling me. It's at the Peter Stuyvesant Wednesday night, so don't be telling me you want to go to the Rosebud.
Jealous.
The Eights seen it downtown at the Strand. They go downtown all the time. Just like us, knit. I guess by the time it gets to the Peter, all the part about kicking in the door will be cut out. Just like that, they cut out the big cabaret scene in The Prince of Virtue. They sure are putting some rough stuff in the pictures nowadays. It's no place for a young girl, she said. I was telling Mrs. 11 only the other day.
NPR radio host?
It's no place for a young girl, I was telling Mrs. 11 only the other day. And by the time they would get uptown, half of it is cut out. But you wouldn't go downtown, not if Wild Horses was to drag you. You can wait till they come uptown. Well, I don't want to wait and see it.
Wrestling announcer.
You could dig up the price all right, if you wanted to. I notice you always go to the price to go to the ball game. But when it comes down to me having a good time, it's always, I ain't got the price. I ain't gotta save. I gotta start saving. A fat lot you'll ever save. All I gotta do now is making both ends meet, and you're talking about saving. She seats herself on a chair and begins removing her shoes and stockings. And I don't want to go pulling off that stuff about me being tired. I've been working hard all day. Twice a day in the subway is enough for me. Tired.
A 10-year-old who's never had sugar before because their mother is too overly strict. And they've just had their first piece of candy.
Twice a day in the subway's enough for me. Tired. Where do you get that stuff from anyway? What about me? Where do I come in? Scrubbing floors and cooking your meals and washing your dirty clothes. And you're sitting on a chair all day long just adding figures and waiting for 5:30. There's no 5:30 for me. I don't want to wait for no whistle. I don't get no vacations either. And what's more, I don't got paid no envelope every Saturday night either. I just like to know where you would be without me. And what if I got to show for it, slaving my life away to give you a home? What's in it for me? I like to know. I would just like to know. But it's my own fault, I guess. I was a fool for marrying you. If I had any sense, I would have known what was going on with you from the start.
You're sending a group of adventurers on an epic quest.
I wish I'd had to do it all over again. I hope to tell you. You was going to do wonders. You was. You wasn't going to be a bookkeeper long. Oh, not you. No, wait till you got started. You was going to show them this wasn't no job in the store that was too big for you. Well, I've been waiting for you to get started. See? It's been a good, long wait, too. 25 years. 25 years tomorrow. You're proud of it, ain't you?
Dog walker on her first day who's clearly in over her head.
25 years in the same job and never missed a day. No. That's something to be proud of, isn't it? Sitting for 25 years. Hey! I guess you forgot about that. At home, I'm looking here at the same four walls and working on my figures and no! Bad! No! 7 years since you got a raise, and if you don't get one tomorrow, I bet a nickel. Boss! Don't pee there, please. Please don't. And if you don't get one tomorrow, I'll bet a nickel that you won't have the guts to go and ask for one. I didn't pick up much when I picked you. I'll tell the world. You ain't much to be proud of.
That was incredible. Do we want to keep going? Is there?
That was awesome.
Do you
I
want
could
to
watch this forever.
do you want to take a break and get some water?
Yeah, I would. So we're currently enjoying The Adding Machine, the absurdist classic that was written in 1922 by Elmer Rice. I hate this show. I hate it so much. It's about nothing. It's actually about, it's supposed to be like a big old, like, you know, metaphor for how much capitalism sucks, which, like, cool. I'm level, like, yeah, I'm super down with that. But, like, the actual action of the show is this, this dude, I think, dies and goes to heaven, and he has to work on this thing called the adding machine all day. I don't actually know what the actual thing's about. I remember not liking this show.
I mean, I feel bad, but I was like, I cannot follow what this monologue is talking about.
Exactly. Chat's mentioning Beckett's Endgame. Oh, don't get me on. I respect Beckett for, you know, he did a lot of cool stuff for a lot of fun things, but like, boy, absurdist theater, you gotta really be hankering for it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be in a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or drunk.
It looks like we got a $20 donations for Alison's monologues are amazing.
Yay!
So this is already working out.